there in terms of a lot of the threats have diminished, but still, that aerial flood advisory, we have that across Grimes County toward Bryan College Station. That's until 8:45, and then this new tornado warning until 8 o'clock right there in Fort Bend County, out toward Katy, and parts of Harris County clearly, and then into Waller County, and down to the south around Angleton, another tornado warning as well. So first, this one, you can see these storms with the lightning moving through pretty quickly, northwest at about 35 miles an hour. Everyone that has had these tornadoes today has talked about that train sound. A lot of times these tornadoes are developing in the shallow part of the atmosphere, so they're easier to hear, and when they're not these big ones like in Oklahoma that drop down way out of the sky. So they're small, they're usually about 50 yards wide, less than 100 miles per hour, but certainly that is strong enough to topple mobile homes and take some shingles off the roofs, as well as fences and tree limbs. So that's what we're watching for. Here's a look at this rotation. You can see you can almost see this bit of a shadow that moves through. And anytime we get that green next to that red, that indicates the two different winds. And so we can certainly see that right there, and then you just follow it. So that's what we're seeing. And then more of that right down here south of Sugar Land just shows up at the very end there. That continues to move north as well. And just because we've drawn a line here doesn't mean that won't go outside of that box right towards Sugar Land. So watch out there. Then the second tornado warning until 7:45, that continues right along 288. That's now moved a little north of the Angleton area. Angleton was in that, so that's been reconfigured. That's until 7:45. Strong storms moving there right toward, again, Sienna Plantation. We already got hit overnight this morning, and now you see again that's very evident with, especially right here with this green and this red, where you see that little bit of a hook going on right here. So that's why this has been issued. That until 7:45, so another 15 minutes. But that could well be moved to the north, even though it has an expiration on it. We've seen that a lot today, that these warnings just get moved along. So there's Exactrack radar. There's the line that's causing all of this trouble. We'll have to watch to see if these secondary feeder bands, with this system drifting a little bit, trying to move a little northeast, but really stationary or drifting south, if those start to perk up as well. And they certainly could. The RPM grabs onto that pretty obviously and continues to make a mess of things through 1 in the morning, and then doesn't move much because this isn't moving much. This band doesn't want to move much. It's just a matter of whether it gets cut off or whether it just keeps on and on and on and on and on. So like a train, it's just going to continue with one boxcar after another. That's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So this really has the National Weather Service here in Houston concerned, this lack of movement. And that's what we've been saying all along. And that's what Allison did. It just didn't move. Consequently, we had inch after inch after inch after inch. Well, that's not so bad, an inch an hour, unless you're talking about 40 hours. Then obviously that adds up. So that's the problem. Exactrack radar, again, just to initialize, and there we're finding the HRRR Futurecast picking that up. Not as clean a line, but it's picking up the showers and thunderstorms. And again, with this not moving much, this doesn't move much either. And so we continue to rotate these strong showers and thunderstorms right into the Houston area through tomorrow morning, maybe getting a break by tomorrow afternoon. But tonight's going to be critical, and that's why we're going to be on all night, through the evening hours and into the overnight, because this is going to be an issue as far as flooding on already very, very saturated ground. There's a look of this system that becomes much less defined as far as the cloud cover is out there to the west, but that's where the center is, right between Cuero and Yoakum, basically. So sort of no man's land, ranch land out there. And I have had a lot of people tell me they want the rain out to the west of Houston, because Houston's had a lot of rain because of the sea breeze this summer, but the sea breeze has stopped in Houston. It hasn't taken that rain off to the west, and so that's continued to be an issue out there. So you need the rain, I realize, but it's coming a little too much too fast for a lot of folks. East-northeast is the general motion. You can see on Monday, it's close enough out to the Gulf to grab some moisture, and it will. If that's the position, we're going to have a rainy one not only for the rest of tonight and tomorrow, but certainly into Monday. Now, if this in fact just begins to get pulled north Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, it won't mean that rain's over, but it will mean that it will have we'll have a better chance of seeing things begin to diminish on Tuesday into Wednesday, at least to some degree. So that's optimistic, but that's certainly the hope right now. Futurecast. This is the American Futurecast, and it just paints that bullseye right there to the west. And the reason it does that is because of that path you saw from Hallettsville off to the north, because that is just saying, well, that's where the low is. That's where most of the rain's going to be. I don't know that it's doing such a great job, to be honest with you, because it's not accounting for a lot of feeder band action, and we're seeing a lot of that with these heavy rains. So the European, same thing. It picks up on this swath of moisture. I think the bottom line is we just got to count on heavy rain. Some of us will see it, some of us will not. If you're already in a saturated area, keep an eye to the sky and really know your bayou situation as well as your creeks. So